Mr. Muhammad, you are here to prove that you are the father of the defendant's 2-year-old daughter, Brooklyn. You claim the only reason she is denying paternity is because she wants to be in a relationship with the other man. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Walton, you say you were secretly cheating on Mr. Muhammad and had sex with the other man almost every day of the month, and there is no way Mr. Muhammad is Brooklyn's father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Muhammad, you are convinced you are Brooklyn's father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Explain.
First of all, I would never let another man raise my child. I was always raised to do the right thing, always raised to be a stand-up gentleman. I know, take care of all my children. You can look at Brooklyn now, see my face features, everything. I'm here today to prove today that I am the father.
And you say it's not his baby, Ms. Walton.
Yes, ma'am. I say that because during my conception date, I was having more sexual intercourse with the other guy than Mr. Muhammad.
And you were having sex with this other guy behind his back, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So what was the nature of your relationship with Mr. Muhammad around the time Brooklyn was conceived?
Okay, the nature of our relationship was Anwar was already having an affair with another woman before he had moved in with me. And during that time, while he was having his affair, I was having my affair also.
Oh, so you all were together, but both having affairs?
Yes.
No.
Well, baby, I wouldn't say we were together.
No. I wasn't having no affair. We was together. She told me that this gentleman was her cousin. I didn't think nothing of it.
She told you the other guy was her cousin?
Was her cousin. Her cousin.
That's not true, Your Honor. He's always known this guy.
I know.
Who he was.
That's the other man that she wanted to be with.
So you're saying you were in a relationship?
In a relationship.
And you're saying you were not in a relationship when Brooklyn was conceived?
No, we was not in a relationship. We were just living together.
Wow.
And you have an older child together, am I correct?
Yes, 4 years old.
So how did you manage to sneak around with the other guy behind Mr. Muhammad's back?
Well, what happens is we was sneaking off to the hotel and having our, relations there.
And where were you supposed to be? Where did you tell Mr. Muhammad you were?
Work.
I told him I was at work.
All right.
She ain't at work. She ain't at work.
I did work because during my pregnancy, I was working 2 jobs. So Mr. Muhammad wouldn't even help me with anything.
She's cheating, Your Honor. While she's thinking she at work, she's cheating.
Were you still intimate with Mr. Muhammad during that time as well?
Yes, I was.
All right.
Wow.
So you were sleeping with them both?
Yes, ma'am.
Take me to the moment you find out you're pregnant.
The moment I found out I was pregnant, I text the guy and I tell him I missed my period. Mr. Muhammad, during that time, who was living with me, got my phone, looked at the text message, and confronted me.
Wrong. That's wrong, Your Honor. What happened was I came home, she sleep, I looked at her phone, I started seeing a full-fledged text message about having sex, all that stuff. Y'all having a full relationship behind my back.
So you had
I had
no idea.
I had no idea about this man. Like I said, she told me in the beginning that was a cousin. I ain't thinking nothing of it. I'm thinking it's a family member.
So can you tell me how you found out about the man at all? Just start from the beginning.
You stop having sex with me. Your Honor, I know when you stop having sex with me, it's a problem there. I know that. So she started to act funny, started to be rebellious, and started to do funny things. So that drove red flags to me. I grabbed the phone, I started looking at the text message, I see the conversation between her and the gentleman.
Okay.
I confront her about it.
What did the conversation say?
Basically saying that we having sex, period. Sending pictures back and forth with each other, they sending body part pictures, all that stuff.
Okay, so then how did you find out she's cheating? How do you find out she's pregnant?
Your Honor, he found out through my cell phone. He's the type that like to go through your cell phone. He even took my cell phone for 2 months.
2 months?
Yes, ma'am, and I'm paying the bill.
I never took a cell. Only
Yes,
time
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. He took my cell phone, and he took my cell phone and he looked at the text message, which I texted the guy and told him. He confronted me and asked me, why is you texting this guy? And I told him, I said, well, it's a possibility I could be pregnant.
I thought that was your cousin.
No, that's not my cousin. I've always told you that wasn't my cousin. But he had took the cell phone and he had confronted me about the text message and he had asked me, well, whose child is it? And I told him, I said, it's his child. It's not yours.
You find out she's pregnant. What's your recollection of that moment?
My recollection of it is that I'm thinking that the baby's mom. We already had one child together. Like I said, we was in a relationship, and I'm thinking I'm the only one that she sees from me. I did not know nothing about the gentleman. And if we look at Brooklyn and look at me, we look alike, similar alike. Everything is alike.
I feel she got more of my features, Your Honor.
Everything alike. She's smart like me. One time, I seen Brooklyn pour cereal at 1 year old, pour cereal and milk. What child do you know that does that one? That's my genes. That's my.
Did you pour cereal and milk when you were one?
Yes, I used to always get this. I'm very smart.
We want to know about the window of conception.
I know the date. The date was February 21st in my mama's house, in the bathroom. We was in the mood. She was in the mood. She go to the bathroom. I go to the bathroom after. That's the date that we have Brooklyn.
Do you remember this day, Ms.
On
Walton?
the sink.
Your Honor, I remember us having sex at my house, not his mother's house.
So, Mr. Muhammad, is it your testimony that you conceived your daughter, Brooklyn, in your mother's bathroom on the sink?
Yes, ma'am.
So when do you think you conceived?
I conceived February the 4th. No, the 5th. That's the day after our oldest daughter's first birthday.
But if you conceived that night, wouldn't that make Mr. Muhammad
the father,
Brooklyn's biological
but
father?
I was having sex with him and the other guy
Look at Brooklyn.
that whole week.
Like me. Brooklyn looks like me. Look at her. That's my baby. That's my baby. That's my baby. I know that. That's my baby right there.
I think she's the other guy.
You got to be crazy.
So, did you ever ask your doctor about the conception date, Miss Walton?
Yes.
What did the doctor say?
I took a pregnancy test a few days after we had, a week after we had sex. The test came out positive. I waited a whole month to go to the doctor. And the doctor told me that I was 8 weeks then. So he went back to February the 5th.
I didn't even see.
So when the doctor told you when you were pregnant, you were 8 weeks.
Yes.
And then that took you back to the window of time right around February 5th.
Yes.
Which is when you were having sex.
With both of them.
Or
yes.
with both of them.
Yes. But
And
I was having more sex with the other guy than Mr. Muhammad.
She want this baby to be his. That baby, look, like I said, I know the baby. I know. When the first time I held Brooklyn, I didn't get to see Brooklyn until she was 6 months old. First time I held Brooklyn, I already know that she's mine. I can just tell if the kid's mine or not. It's certain characteristics that's mine.
That's the day she was born.
I didn't even get to see that. I didn't get to see none of that.
And did you tell this other guy I'm pregnant?
Yes, I told the other guy I was pregnant.
Never told me nothing.
Miss Walton admits that she was having sex with both men, you and the other man. You weren't using protection with the other man?
No.
You weren't using protection, Mr. Muhammad?
No.
Trifling.
You were having sex around the window of conception with both men?
Yes.
Crazy.
This is 50-50 no matter how we slice it.
Right.
Did you tell the other man, I'm pregnant and this could be your baby?
Yes, I told him.
What was his response?
His response was he wanted a paternity test once the baby was born. But he ended up leaving.
A paternity test, not a fraternity test.
Yeah, paternity test.
No,
paternity, I'm sorry.
Excuse me, Your Honor. My oldest daughter, Brooklyn looks like my oldest daughter. If you look at them two girls right there, that's alike. That's my first daughter right there. She 4.
They are adorable.
Oh, adorable. Those are my babies. Those are my babies right there. Look at me and look at them. Those are my babies right there.
Yeah, they may be your babies, but I'm taking care of them.
Oh, I take care of them too.
No, you do not.
I ask you all the time.
Listen. I'm trying to understand the logic. Like, as I listen to your testimony, Ms. Walton, honestly, I keep saying to myself, well, what reason does she have to make up this lie? Like, you've got one baby with the man, so you're stuck with him. And if you had another one with him, you all would just be co-parenting and figuring that out. What benefit is it to you to say the other man is your child's biological father unless you really believe that?
Your Honor, she gave
Honestly,
Brooklyn
I believe it in my heart that he is the biological father
Your
of
Honor,
the man.
she gave
and plus
Brooklyn...
the other man, he will be more financially helpful. He'll be more of a father to her.
Your Honor, Brooklyn got my last name.
He will be the man that will stand up to take care of his child.
Oh, you've decided that this other man is going to take care of Brooklyn better than Mr. Muhammad.
Yes.
Never. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work.
So do you want to be with this other man too?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now it makes sense.
Now, that's what she wants. She trying to make that baby belong to this man. That I don't even know this man.
Have you started that relationship?
No.
Ain't gonna work.
No.
Ain't gonna work.
Well, why?
He's married for number one.
Your Honor. Your Honor.
He's married for number one.
Your Honor. Your Honor. Your Honor. See what I'm saying? Your Honor. Brooklyn got my last name.
I'm sitting up here trying to figure out what's
She all
holding
over the
them
place,
back.
man.
What's holding them back?
She
a whole wife.
Yeah. Oh, wife, hold them back. You bugging. You bugging. You bugging. She gave Brooklyn my last name. She gave Brooklyn my last name.
You gave Brooklyn.
I gave Brooklyn his last name
because it's my baby.
From being embarrassed later on in life.
It's my baby, period.
You wanted your daughters to have same last name. Because you definitely couldn't give her the other man's last name.
Nah, you can't do that. That's what you give messing with marriage.
So then your only option was to give her just your last name, so you didn't want her to get teased.
Right.
But you think she gave Brooklyn your last name because she's really just trying to be mean, but she knows Brooklyn's your child.
Exactly. She know that.
So you really want this other man to be the father too, because you say that's who you want to be with. The only problem is that he's married.
Yeah.
But if you end up with this baby by him, that might change.
Yes.
Ho-ho!
That ain't gonna change. That ain't gonna change. Hey, yeah.
It took me a minute, but I arrived.
She don't know what she's talking about. Like I said, she does not know what she's talking about. Look at that baby. Look at her.
She looks more like
my
me.
baby.
I do not see his features.
Miss Walton, I need to ask you, because you come to court to tell the truth and to get the truth.
Yes.
Is it that you don't believe Mr. Muhammad is Brooklyn's biological child, or is it that you so desperately want to be with the married man that you want this child as another level of attachment to him, or you want it to be the straw that breaks the camel's back in his marriage?
No, I'm not a fan of breaking up happy homes.
She broke up my happy. You broke up my happy home. She broke. Well, honest, she broke up my happy home. She broke my happy home.
I believe Mr. Muhammad is not my child's father.
Did you just say she broke up your happy home?
She broke up my happy home.
I did not break up his happy home.
I'm done.
Listen, I did not break up his happy home. But I just feel that he's not the father.
We got to get it together, people. We got to get it together. This is messy. I see what exactly is going on now. If these assertions that Ms. Walton has made is true, with the fact that during the window of conception, she was actively sleeping with both men without protection, you all can talk all you want to talk. But really, the paternity question, it's just up in the air. I've heard enough. Jerome, let me get the envelope.
I'm glad. Let me get my pen. Let me get my pen. Thank you. Let me get mine. Let me get it.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. When it comes to 2-year-old Brooklyn Muhammad, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Muhammad, you are the father.
Yes. I told you. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about, baby. I know what I'm talking about. 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 You hear me? I know what I'm talking about.
Right now, you have 2 children together. Let's stop making this a fight. Do you understand?
Yes.
I feel like everything between you two is a fight.
Your Honor, if she can pay...
Mr. Muhammad, you got to learn when to be quiet. I mean, really.
All right.
You say you're smart. The qualities of very intelligent people is that they learn that listening is actually more important than talking.
Yes, ma'am.
The truth is that doesn't make people want to work with you. And when you're co-parenting, you have to create a scenario where someone wants to work with you.
Understand.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. Mr. Jenkins, you reached out to the court to open a case. You believe that you have a long-lost daughter and hoped to one day find her to prove you are her father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So we've located the woman you believe is your daughter, and she's here in court today. But she does not believe you are her father. So Ron, can you please escort Ms. Bond into the courtroom?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Stand behind the left podium.
Thank you for joining us, Ms. Bond. So, before the court contacted you, had you ever heard of Mr. Jenkins?
No, I've never heard of Mr. Jenkins. None of my family members have spoken on him. I also like to submit this as evidence. His name isn't even on my birth certificate.
Ron, can you pass me that evidence, please? So, you don't believe he's your father?
No, Your Honor.
Because you've never heard of him?
Never heard of him. No one has ever spoken of him. I've never seen any pictures. My mother never even spoke of him, brought him up in no conversations whatsoever.
So this is your birth certificate?
Yes, Your Honor.
And under father's legal name, nothing is recorded?
Yes, Your Honor.
But you were raised by a man that you believe, you were told was your biological father?
Yes, he died in a car accident in 1999 with my mother, and I believe that that was my father.
So, Ms. Bond, ultimately, you come to court today completely in the dark.
Yes, Your Honor.
You don't have any information?
No information.
No one's ever told you anything?
No one's ever told me anything.
And Mr. Jenkins,
Yes,
you have known about this young woman all her life.
I've been looking for her over 24 years, Your Honor. Me and her mother was in college together. And I'm telling you, she was banging. I mean, she was bad. I mean, she had a nice big back porch on her. She had this pink jumpsuit on. And she used to wear this little black hat with an X on it. I mean, you know, that was like, she was like Lena Horne to me, you know.
Oh.
She was fine. I mean, she was fine. Light brown eyes. Miss Bond looked just like her.
Oh.
She ended up getting pregnant while we was living together.
Okay.
So during the times when we was living together, I was going to the doctor with her. I'd like to submit this here to the court, Your Honor.
Yes. Ron, can you hand me that evidence, please?
It's an ultrasound picture that I used to go to the hospital with her.
You did. So when you found out she was pregnant,
I was excited. I said, I got my first child. I got a girl. You know, I was just blown away. I was on top of the world.
So this is an ultrasound picture of Miss Bond.
Yes.
That you've saved all these years.
Over 24 years, I've been saving that picture right there.
If you guys were so close and you were so in love and everything, why did it take you so long to find me?
I've been doing everything I can do. Promise me.
Miss Bond, after your mom passed and your dad, who took care of you?
A relative on my mother's side.
Did you know she was there?
Yes, Your Honor.
So I'd like to hear more about what life was like after your mom and dad passed away for you, because now you're growing up without your parents.
I felt alone. You know, I didn't have anyone to talk to. I didn't have anyone. I lost my mother.
Take your time, honey.
And my father. And I didn't have anybody. And I struggle, and I'm still struggling. I'm homeless. I'm trying to get my children. And I have no one on my side, and I just feel so alone. I feel like a part of me is really missing.
How many children do you have?
I have 2 sons.
I can see that this was very painful for you. I know what life is like to have to go on without your mother. I've lost my mother, and I can only imagine if it was your mother and the man you know as to be your father. So you basically raised yourself with the help of family.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Your Honor.
But you felt alone.
I always feel alone. I still feel alone. I cry myself to sleep every night because I don't have anyone.
Excuse me, Your Honor, she got me. You know, you don't have to worry about that. See, if I'm a man, I'm gonna step up and do what I gotta do. My job is to protect you and to love you, to show you how a man's supposed to treat you, you know.
And I miss that. I miss that growing up. I didn't have a father figure to tell me, you know, right from wrong, type of boys to date. I made a lot of wrong decisions and I made a lot of mistakes because I didn't have anyone there to guide me.
Well, you got me now. I want to love you. I'm going to be there for you. I want to support you. You know, I'm going to teach you how a man's supposed to treat you. You know, I'm a man. You know, I want a man for you like the man that I am.
I still have my doubts, though.
I used to go over one of your family members' house. I used to come over there every Christmas. I used to go there. Kept me out on the porch. Played crazy on me. Played like she didn't know who I was. I knocked on doors. I'd like to submit one more thing to the court, Your
I have
Honor.
a Facebook page. If you went for social media, you could have found me.
I did everything I could do. I've been looking for you over 24 years.
Ron, let me see that evidence.
I'd like to submit this to the court. That's one of your numbers that I have. I had contacted Ms. Bond before.
I've never received a call.
Was that your phone number, ma'am?
It might have been. I have so many numbers. I really don't remember. I've never got a call. I've never got a text, a letter, nothing.
I've been Googling her. All these different sites. I've been doing all of this.
I don't understand. You've done all this and you still couldn't find me. I don't understand.
I put in the work.
So I want to know more about how did it end? It seemed like you all were in love and you were having a baby and you've got ultrasound pictures. What happened?
Outside people putting stuff in her head, turning her against me. The more I was trying to do things, we was both going to school.
I'm sorry, I still don't believe that's the reason to break up with someone, letting outside people get into your relationship. If you really loved her, you would have stayed, regardless of whatever was going on.
I did everything that I possibly could do. Matter of fact, she wanted to get married. She had asked my mother to marry me. During the time I was still in college, you know, I said, well, in my head, let me get me a good education and get a good job before I make that step, because during that time I wasn't ready. I wish I did.
So you regret that?
Yes, I do.
So once she wanted to get married and you felt like you weren't ready, was Ms. Bond here? Was the baby here? Had you had the baby?
I wasn't at the hospital, but once she was born, she got in contact with me. Me and my mother went to see the baby.
And that's a picture of Ms. Bond?
Yes, that's
a baby picture you have.
Exactly. And I've been having that picture over 24 years. I look at that picture all the time.
You believe that's Ms. Bond?
Yes.
Ms. Bond, have you ever seen that baby picture of yourself?
I've never seen that baby picture of myself.
That's you. I held her once in my life. I held her, and that was it. At that, about 2 weeks old.
You've never seen a picture of you as a baby, even with this same little onesie on?
I've never seen that picture, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Jenkins,
yes.
Did you ever come close to meeting Ms. Bond? I mean, after being there in the hospital, I don't even understand. How did you lose contact?
I lost contact, like I told you, after people got in her head, took her away from me. I went by there and left my phone number. And Xavier called me. And when she called me, I was excited. I was like, wow, here I can get my girl. I can get my girl. I can see my baby now. I was just excited. And then I said, well, where are you?
You should have saw me regardless of whether or not she was in another relationship. You shouldn't have let anything get in between you being with her or you seeing me, being around me, raising me.
I didn't know where you was at.
I'm here now.
I thank God for this hit show right now, because this is one of the ways that I found you. You know, because other than that, I was doing all the footwork. I was knocking on doors.
So when you left your phone number,
yes,
and Ms. Bond's mother called you back,
yes, she called.
Did you make contact? Did you see her again?
No, I didn't.
She would have been around 8 years old?
Yes,
You didn't get to see her?
I didn't get to see her.
What happened?
I talked to her on the phone, and she said, in the next week or so, I'll let you see Andrea. I said, how she's doing? She's doing pretty good. A week later, I called her back at that number, and I had heard some bad news that she was in a bad car accident.
Oh, my goodness.
And here we go again. Now it's starting all over again.
She got killed in the car accident. You could have came to the funeral.
I was cut off from the funeral.
I still don't feel like you're my father. I'm sorry. Because if you were really my father, you would have tried harder. You would have been in my life regardless of anything that's going on.
And do you understand Mr. Jenkins, I mean, this is a 24-year-old young woman, and yet there are some very real feelings that are just still from a young girl that's been through so much. I mean, it's hard for her to wrap her mind around the fact that there was no way for you to get to her.
I don't believe that at all.
So you don't think your family did that, Ms. Bond?
No.
So, Mr. Jenkins, do you think there was a possibility that Ms. Bond's mother didn't think you were the biological father?
No, I don't think that, Your Honor. She knew that I was the father.
I only say that because, of course, I sit in this chair day after day. And one case in particular sticks out in my mind where a gentleman was in a very similar position to you. I mean, he came to court, he knew this young woman was his daughter.
Yep.
He had a baby picture of her. And yet, ultimately, it was determined he was not. Could it be possible that maybe there was something that you just missed?
No, Your Honor.
Right, because I'm saying, like, she never spoke of you, and I'm just trying to understand if you were really my father. In 8 years, she's never showed me a picture, she's never spoke of you. No one has ever spoke of you. This is my first time seeing you, hearing of you, so it's just hard for me to believe that you're my father.
I mean, I didn't want to end up getting into the point that I get in any trouble, but I pushed it as far as I could push it.
Well, I think that's one point, Ms. Bond, that I want to help Mr. Jenkins articulate better. When you submitted your birth certificate to the court, and under father, there was no name listed, because he was not listed, he doesn't have any rights to see you or to stake any claim to visit you, anything. And so, Mr. Jenkins, let me ask you this. What jump-started, accelerated this new search? And now it's been 24 years. And I mean, you contacted this court and you were looking for this young woman with a vengeance. You called this court every single day.
Not just a while back, you know, music artist Prince had died, and he didn't have any estate or nothing to leave any of his stuff to. So the things that I have, or the things that I accomplished in life, I would like to leave them to my daughter.
I still have
So when you look at Mr. Jenkins, Ms. Bond, and you look at him, do you see yourself at all? Do you say, I kind of feel like I look like him?
I look more like him to me, in my opinion.
You feel like you look more like the man you believe to be your father?
Yes.
All right, well, the only way to move forward, that's why we're here, is to get the results, and we have those for you. Ron, will you give me the envelope, please?
Yes, ma'am.
When it comes to 24-year-old Andrea Bond, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Jenkins, you are her father.
I love you. 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 24 years. 24 years of doing footwork, and it paid off.
Yes,
Thank
it
you,
did.
God. I love you.
I love you too.
Oh.
Paid off.
Well, y'all done got me crying now. This is one beautiful sight. This is exactly why we do this. Ms. Horton.
Yes.
You
Your Honor.
and the man you have always believed is your dad have dragged your mother to court because you say she was never faithful. So neither of you believes that the man standing next to you is your biological father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Conrad.
Yes, Your Honor.
You claim you've given the plaintiffs no reason to doubt that he is her biological father, and today's results will prove your case. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Horton, Your daughter is 26 years old. Why did you decide to bring this case to court?
I think it's time to find out the reason. If she really is mine, I have no idea. I don't know. She was unfaithful all the time, but I raised my daughter since she was little. But I'm getting slack from other family members and friends that say that she's not my daughter because she has blue eyes, and I have brown. The whole family has brown. The mother has brown eyes. There's nobody in my family has blue eyes.
And at 26 years old, Miss Horton, I can see how much this upsets you.
Yeah.
And you have the man you believe is your father questioning your paternity?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
You're both here to prove that he's not your biological father, and yet you're hoping that he is.
I'm praying, yes.
I'm hoping she is too, but right here every day, she's not your daughter. Why you didn't get her? Why you didn't? You know, when I was running around, you know, blah, 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 I hear it all the time.
You hear this all the time?
Yeah, all the time.
Miss Conrad.
You know, that's not true. I am 150 to 200 for sure. He is the father of my daughter, Brenda.
How could...
Now, Miss Conrad says she's 150 to 200%,
well, okay,
but you say you're 100% sure Miss Horton is not?
Rebuttal. I mean, if you sleep around with different men and you sleep with at the same time, how can you be sure who the parent is? How can you be sure?
Because I know when I did.
So it is your testimony that Miss Conrad was sleeping around with various men.
My kids can tell you that. She can tell you that. One time we were in the house. I acted like I was going to work, and I parked across the street and walked around the back and snuck in the basement. She was sneaking out the door to go across the street with some guy. One time we lived in an apartment, and a friend of mine, we were sitting there partying, and I seen him give me the eye. And I said, I'm not stupid. I said, okay, so I went to act like I was going to bed. I heard the door shut, real quiet. I knocked on the door. I said, let me in. You're not coming in. I said, is Brenda there? No. I said, let me in. She opened the door, and she was in there.
Miss Conrad, is this true?
I have ran around on him. Yes, I have. Yes, it was, my children remember that because they were already born then when I wasn't.
Yes.
So it is your testimony that you did cheat on Mr. Horton, but it was after your children were born.
The timing's wrong.
The timing's wrong.
Right.
And so, Mr. Horton, she says your timing is off.
Wrong. In that period of time, there was always been affairs, always. In my opinion, if there's many stuck out of it in her, she'd be a porcupine. And that's the way I look at it.
That was wrong.
I just got that. Okay. We want to be respectful in the courtroom.
I'm trying to be respectful. That's why I put it nicely.
Miss Conrad, this is really upsetting you now. Why?
Yeah, because it's not true.
It is so true.
I'm not like that. Your Honor.
My daughter
Wait,
can
hold on. What part of it is untrue?
The disrespect that he's given me.
I'm not
It's
trying to disrespect him,
true.
but just trying to tell the truth.
He has said that you've had many sexual encounters outside of your relationship
How
with
does
him.
he know? Was he there?
Well, actually,
I mean,
you
yes,
just
I was.
no. Actually, you just
No, he
testified to
believed
that.
Other people other than who he really should believe.
Let's move forward with the testimony because I want to understand the nature of the relationship and how it began. You have 4 children,
Yes.
4 children, yes.
Yeah, 4, yes.
Yes.
and you met
Yes,
when?
Your Honor.
Supposedly.
Take me back.
I was 15.
You
I
were
was-
15 when you
Yeah.
met. So you were very young when you met.
Yes, Your Honor.
And
And beautiful. Sorry. I'm so
you
sorry.
don't ever have to apologize for saying your mother was beautiful. So you all start this relationship.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you get married?
Yes, ma'am.
You do. Eventually you get married.
Your Honor, can I say something, please? Sometimes I be having doubts because I look at my face, and I've been trying for years, to get a DNA test, but I wasn't able to at the time because my mom didn't feel comfortable going, but I can understand my mom because she don't want any trouble, and I'm not here to, make anybody upset or nothing, but
I see that you feel pulled
my mother's in my
between
life, yes.
your mother and your father. And when you say, I'm not here to upset anyone,
Yes, I'm not. I'm
but
not
we're
at all.
here for you.
I know, yes.
You
Your Honor.
understand that?
Your Honor.
And I tried I've been trying for years to get a DNA test, but I wasn't able to because at the time I didn't have all the information right.
Understood. But that's why this court exists.
Yes.
This is what is so valuable about coming to court
Yes.
and having your side of the story heard. What I find, especially as judge of this courtroom, is that everyone has a side. And there are parts
Yes,
of
ma'am.
their sides of the story that make sense. Our jury is the DNA.
Yes,
which means
Your
that's
Honor.
going to be the deciding factor.
Yes, ma'am. Look, I didn't bring her here, Miss Judge. I didn't bring Miss Conrad here. She was the one to call the court. I had
Yes, I'm
nothing
the one
to
that
do with
called
it.
you.
But I want to say this to you. The paternity question is important to resolve.
Yes,
It
ma'am.
is.
Amen.
Because if there is a question of it, already this young woman, 26 years old, beautiful girl, she's standing in court and upset and crying over her doubts. My heart breaks when she says to me, I look in the mirror and I look at my features. No 26-year-old young woman trying to navigate her way through life should have to look in the mirror and evaluate her features to see if she looks like her father. I want to get direct testimony about the time and the window of conception. Mr. Horton, during the window of time Ms. Horton was conceived, do you contend, is it your testimony that there was a relationship outside of the marriage?
I've heard. We lived in townhouse at the time, and we had a mailman that had light hair and blue eyes and had a beauty marker right here.
I got her.
My daughter has blue eyes, blonde hair, and a beauty mark in the
It's
same
little, though.
exact
It's
spot.
cute. It's cute, though.
There was a mailman in
Yes.
your town.
Yes, there was.
Sir, you brought an exhibit.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, step over to it,
All right,
please.
thank you. My daughter has blonde hair. The man would have blonde hair. The man would have blue eyes. My daughter's got blue eyes. The birthmark, I call it, or beauty mark, whatever you want to call it, had the same mark, the same spot. I don't know for sure, but I've heard. That's the only one I know for sure. The rest of them I can tell you I knew for sure.
So this mailman delivered your mail every day?
Yes.
And has blonde hair, blue eyes, and a birthmark?
Yes.
The same features as your daughter?
Yes.
And so, for how many years have you heard rumors that she potentially was fathered by this mailman?
I didn't think of it at first because I didn't want to think about it. And then after my daughter got older, and I noticed she got blue eyes. I got hazel eyes. Her mother's got brown eyes. Nobody in my family has blue eyes on either side.
You can step back to the podium.
Your
Miss
Honor.
Conrad, you admitted in the relationship you had outside relationship.
Yeah, that was after Brenda was born.
But this was
All my
after the children were born. You said, but you know who this mailman is. He's talking
No.
about. You don't even remember this person.
Oh, no, Your Honor. This is new to me.
That's because there was so many of them.
So the milkman, what happened to the milkman?
Hold
now
on.
It's the mailman.
Respect
It was
what you
the
said.
milkman. Now it's the mailman.
Well, now I'm getting
I
fired
mean,
up
it's like
now
a
'cause
back
she's
and
getting
forth,
lying.
a vice versa thing with him. I don't know whether he can keep the right story or not.
So wait. First he used to say it was the milkman?
Yeah. And
They
then it
weren't-
was
they
the
weren't
mailman.
delivering milk.
And then it was- I mean, I'm
Thank
confused here
you.
myself.
Thank you.
This is about her. My baby right here
Yep.
has the right to know. It's been 26 years.
Absolutely.
He can't even remember a DNA test that the
There
court
was a-
recommended
Did I
when
see
they
any
were
papers?
in foster care.
Did I see any
Let
papers?
alone who I slept with.
Excuse
Hold
me.
on. Basically, Mr. Horton believes that this man, this mailman, with blonde hair, blue eyes, and a birthmark
he
in
was
pretty much the same position
Training.
as your daughter's, could potentially be your daughter's father. You're saying that's not true.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're also saying that you had a DNA test performed in the court?
No, the court, when they were in foster care, Your Honor, the judge wanted to know because he said the same thing that he's sitting here telling you in court. He said to them,
A previous paternity test was performed. What were the results?
99% his children.
Did you bring that evidence to court?
They gave it to my lawyer that presented it to the judge, and the judge said it in court with his lawyer being there, too.
Your Honor,
Mr. Horton, have you ever seen this paperwork?
that story is fabricated. There was no judge ordered anything. I asked for the DNA test. I never seen nothing. I've been questioning Tony since she's been born, and she's even questioned it. That's the reason why we're here, Your Honor.
Since the day this child was born,
No,
26 years ago, you've questioned whether or not she was yours?
Yes.
Ms. Horton, I want to hear from you. I hear this man you believe is your biological father saying, from the day you were born, he has always questioned paternity. Have you felt that growing up?
Honestly, no. Oh, not at all.
You never felt that?
I never felt it, but as I got older, like when I turned I would say 25, I kind of did have doubts, but my boyfriend said I looked like him. A lot of people say I look like him.
When
a
you
little
started
bit.
having doubts, why did you have doubts?
Because I just look in the mirror and sometimes I don't see him. You know what I mean? I just don't see him in me. But my mom's father has blue eyes. My cousins have blue eyes.
I want to know, how did this come about? Who told you this may not be your father?
Well, my siblings sit there and say that I'm not his because I don't have blue eyes. I look different than everybody else, you know, and...
Your Honor, her older sister, she told me, she said, yeah, she knows that she used to tell Brenda that she was the milkman.
Well, let me just say this.
He
A
just
lot
goes
of
overboard, Your Honor.
that's a joke. That is like a
Yeah,
common
right,
phrase.
exactly.
I get that.
Right, Your Honor.
What concerns me is this has gone to another level.
Right.
Through the years, she may have gotten bits and pieces of things. The milkman baby joke. You don't look like daddy.
sorry.
Her looking at her own self in the mirror. And what I'm saying is circumstantially, she has put together pretty much a case where she doesn't know if the man she has always thought is her father is truly her biological
Judge,
father.
that's the reason why
My
we're here.
mom understands.
That's the
My
reason
mom
why we're here.
understands.
She's not tuning the whole story because she don't want to say something.
No,
to her
I'm
mother.
being honest.
She could tell you stories.
So what you're saying is she has information that she hasn't shared in court.
Exactly.
Look, children feeling torn in between their parents on any level, it is hard on the young person. As soon as this
Yes,
court
ma'am.
case began, Miss Horton was in tears.
Yeah.
Because this is hurting her.
Yep.
And I've seen her during this case look at her mother and say something to her like, Mommy, I love you, or it's gonna be okay. Then she's got turned back to you. Daddy, I mean, I can see this tennis ball thing, everyone
give her a
can
hug?
see it here. Yes, you may. Of course you can hug your mother.
We're it's going to be me and you hanging out today, not him. I promise.
And what I need you to understand before we go to these results, Miss Horton, is that this is for you and about you.
Yes.
Because you're worth it.
Yeah.
This is not because you did something wrong. You are just fine
Yes.
where you are, who you are, saying that you need an answer. That's okay. All right?
Yes.
We're about to go to the results. Miss Conrad, is there anything you'd like to say to your daughter before we go to the results?
I just want this DNA to be proven.
Yes.
Is there something you'd like to say to her, though? I know you're ready for
I love you too, Mom.
And I always have, and you're still
I
my
know.
baby girl.
Yes, she's still my favorite mom. Favorite mom.
Oh,
Are you prepared for the results either way, Miss Conrad?
yes.
You are.
Truth.
Mr. Horton, are you prepared?
Yes.
It's interesting that you stand here to basically prove that she's not your daughter, but you're hoping that she is.
Right.
I'm not praying. I've been praying
And
too.
so I know this is very difficult for you. I know it is. Both of you very lucky to have such an amazing
Thank you.
young girl.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm ready for the results. Jerome?
I'm scared.
Thank you. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Horton versus Conrad, when it comes to 26-year-old Brenda Horton, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Horton, you are the father.
Oh my God! Yes! Mommy, you were right! You were right, Mommy! You were right! I love you so much! I knew I should have believed you, Mom! Oh my God, it's weird! Thank you
Your
so
Honor.
much. It's been such a blessing.
I'm really relieved now I can tell everybody to kiss my butt.
Well, listen, you could have just said, I can live with this doubt.
I
Let's
could
never
have,
get
but
the
you
answer.
couldn't.
Right. And isn't that at the end of the day what being an amazing dad is about? That even though you could have just lived with it, because she could not, you supported your baby girl in her quest to know the truth, even though that truth could have led you to a different result. You overcame that fear and supported her. And Ms. Conrad, I appreciate your testimony. The paternity questions usually revolve around the sexual activity of the woman.
Right.
And it's hard
Yes, Your Honor.
sometimes having to relive issues you may have put behind you, and yet the question of paternity was still existing within the soul and spirit of your daughter. And because you had the courage, she now has the answer she needs.